Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on February 8th, 2023, man. If you're looking for more of this great content, y'all know what to do, man. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. If you're looking for my best bets, the ones that I'm placing tonight, and best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, man, check us out over at pickdawgz.com and click that premium picks tab. If you're looking for my $15 NBA Jam session play, my best bet in the NBA every night, man, click that link in the description. It'll take you right to my handicapper page, man, and that's where you'll find my long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day seasonal, my $15 NBA Jam session play. As long as every bet I have on the board for today's action, man, all of that over at pickdawgz.com. Man, we had a winner on that Jam session play last night with the New Orleans Pelicans. Love to see that, man. Got back on track on that play. We've hit 11 of our last 19 on that, man. Trying to get back hot over there. I love tonight's play, so you can scoop that up, $15. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I typically update y'all on late injury news. Let y'all know if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association, man. I also drop free parlays, free plays, all that great stuff over there, man. We got a nice size card tonight, so I'm most likely going to drop one for y'all over there, so be on the lookout for that. We're going to try to make some money tonight, man. We had a good night on the jam session last night as well. 5-1 night, man. If Devin Booker hit some free throws, we would have swept, but, you know, happens. We won't complain. LeBron passed Kareem last night. The GOAT, man, in my opinion. I know y'all are going to argue me down about Michael Jordan in the comments today, but it's cool. I'm arguing LeBron today. I got time today as he passed Kareem yesterday for the most points scored, man. He's top 4 in assists. Like, he went to the finals 10 years straight, bruh. I don't know what more y'all want from that man. He's the GOAT in my opinion. I didn't see Jordan play in my opinion, so y'all can have it. But LeBron, he's my GOAT. I'm celebrating him today. Congratulations. And yeah, man, got a nice size card in the NBA. Let's smash it per usual. Without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Detroit Pistons out on the road facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland laying 12.5, total 222.5. I mean, y'all know where we're going in this one, man. We're firing it up. We're taking the best home cover team in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They should go ahead and stomp down on this Detroit Pistons team, man. 18-9-1 against the spread on their home floor. League best are the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. And I see this as a spot where they could easily win this one by 20 plus. I really could. The way their defense is with the Twin Towers down low, we know Donovan Mitchell can explode at any moment. Darius Garland, a nice bucket getter as well. It's a reason why we like to bet this Cleveland team at home, and I think this is another spot to go ahead and do so. We've already seen them beat up on this Pistons team twice this season. The first matchup was on the 4th of November. Cleveland won that matchup 112-88 in Detroit. And the second one was 102-94, an 8-point win on the 27th of November. That game was also in Detroit. So they beat up on them on the road, man. Where Cleveland actually does not play their best basketball, I definitely think they do the same thing in their home gym in Cleveland. Like I said, the best home cover team in all of the NBA right now. Fading the Detroit Pistons, man. They haven't really looked good here recently. They've only won one of their last 5. That win came against Charlotte, another bottom feeder team. We were on the Pistons in that one, actually. And, you know, against the good teams, they've been beat up on. Their last game just the other night, they played the Celtics 111-99 at home. So, you know what I mean? It is not a good situation to be trying to look at the Pistons for me in this situation. So, in our first matchup of the night, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'll lay the 12.5 here in this one tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Charlotte Hornets out on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Wizards laying 5 in this one, total 236.5. This is a 50-50 type game, man. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to bet this one. If I were to lean anywhere, though, I would go for the straight value with the Hornets on the money line. We're getting plus 175. And the way the Wizards have played in their last 3 games, I want no part of them, man. We've seen them blow the 20-point lead on the third against the Portland Trailblazers. We had Portland on the money line in that one, so we were happy to see that. Then we took them the very next night against the Brooklyn Nets. That was the day after the Kyrie trade. There was a lot going on with the Nets. Thought the Wizards were going to bounce back because they were playing good basketball before this little losing streak they were on. We thought they were going to bounce back in that one. They came out, looked really good. We're up 20 plus, and they blew another 20-point lead, man. Their second in a back-to-back situation, man. So that was crazy. And then their last game out, they just got took behind the shed by the Cleveland Cavaliers, 114-91. So it's hard to look in the direction right now. It's hard to want to lay 5 either. And they could be without their top 2 players in Kyle Kuzma, in Bradley Beal. I just don't want no parts of the Wizards right now, man. I could see the Hornets possibly winning this game in a 50-50 type game. I know they've been struggling here recently as well, as they've lost 4 straight too, but, I can see them winning this game if you're asking me that. We've seen the 3 games between these 2 teams this season be competitive. The Wizards won the first one 108-100 on the 7th of November. The Wizards also won the second one on the 20th of November, 106-102. In the last matchup, the Hornets won that one straight up 117-116 on the 2nd of December. Hey, again, I'm probably going to stay away from this one. If I do fire anything up, though, it will probably be a pure value spot with the Hornets, as I do think this game could go either way. And if they're going to give me a plus 175, it's not a bad place to be. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the game of the night, man. Then the game that everybody's going to have their eyes on. I'm excited for this one as well tonight. We got arguably the 2 best teams in the NBA right now. In the Philadelphia 76ers, man, they're out on the road facing the Boston Celtics, man. Celtics laying 4.5, total 228.5. I mean, first we got some injuries we need to talk about. We got Joel Embiid listed as questionable day-to-day in this one. I'm not sure if he plays. I do think he plays, though, in a lean. Like, I just lean that he plays in this one. Such a huge game. I'm not a doctor, though, so I'm not sure if he's going to go or not. We got Jaylen Brown listed as questionable day-to-day, probable, though. So I think he goes with that illness. He didn't play in the last one, but I think he goes tonight. And if we get the game that we all think we're going to get, I like the Celtics still at home, man. I've said for majority of the season, I think they're the best team in the NBA. And I think they put that on display here tonight. I know they were struggling there for a minute, but they did bounce back and beat up on the Pistons in their last matchup, man. And I know that's really not saying much, but they did cover the spread. They were like 1-8 in their last 9 against the spread, so they did exercise that demon. And I think tonight they go. I think they go giant slaying tonight. I think they go slay this giant in the 76ers. It's going to be a really good game. 4.5. You know what I mean? But I think Celtics are up like 3 or 4 late in this ball game. Sixers get to doing the late fouling stuff, and the Celtics do push over this number and cover the spread. So me personally, I'm taking Celtics minus the 4.5. It's gonna be a hell of a game to watch. I know I'm watching it, so I'll probably throw a few dollars on it. Will it make the premium side? I'm not 100% sure on that yet. We'll see. But I do lean Celtics. I think they win the basketball game. 4.5. It's over a bucket, and it's in a really tight game, but I do think the Celtics win this one, and I can see the late fouling pushing it over this number. So give me the Celtics, laying the 4.5. It's going to be a hell of a game. Can't wait to watch it, but I think the Celtics win it outright. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Indiana Pacers out on the road facing the Miami Heat. Miami laying 6 at home, total 223, man, and I know y'all know where I'm going in this one, man. Continuing to fade the Miami Heat on their home floor is my favorite thing to do this season in the NBA, and I have no problem grabbing the points here with the Indiana Pacers. I would not be surprised at all if the Pacers win this game outright, and I probably just talk myself into betting them on the money line as well. Miami, the worst home cover team in all of the NBA, man. Worse than Charlotte, worse than my Mavs, worse than the Detroit Pistons, are the Miami Heat, man. 8-16-2 against the spread on their home floor, man. They've only covered in 33.3% of their home games. And they're struggling right now as well, man. They've only won 2 of their last 5. They just came off of a pretty good road stand. They played Milwaukee twice. Milwaukee, New York, Cleveland, and Charlotte. So it's just not a good spot for Miami, man. Coming home, this first game home could be a flat spot. We've already seen the Pacers beat them twice this season, 101-99 in the first matchup. That game was in Indiana. The Heat did win the second one, 87-82 in Indiana as well on the 12th of December. And the last matchup was on the 23rd of December. And the Pacers won that one in Miami, 111-108. I would not be surprised if we see a very similar score to that last one here in this one tonight. I like the Pacers. I think they cover this spread, continuing to fade Miami at home. And like I said at the top, I would not be surprised if the Pacers won this game outright. They got their engine back in Tyrese Halliburton. They're going to start playing some of that Pacers basketball we were accustomed to before he got hurt, when he was leading the league in assists, when he was putting up 20, 10, and almost every night. So I really like this Pacers team tonight. I think they cover this line, and again, I think they win this game outright. Quite honestly. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the San Antonio Spurs. They're out on the road facing the Toronto Raptors. Raptors laying 10.5 here in this one, total 234.5. Another game I'm probably just going to stay away personally, man. Do I trust the San Antonio Spurs to finally keep a game competitive? No, I do not, man. They just continuously find ways to get blown out. They were in that game, the whole game with the Chicago Bulls in that last one. And somehow, some way, they found themselves getting blown out late in that one, 128-104. It's hard to be betting the Spurs, man, because they will be hanging around for majority of it. And then at the end, they play sloppy situational basketball. And next thing you look up, they're down 15 to 20 points. So do I feel like grabbing the points with them in this game? I do not. In that same breath, I know the Toronto Raptors have won 3 of their last 5, including 2 road wins against the Memphis Grizzlies and the Houston Rockets. The other win coming against the Portland Trail Blazers, which was good for this Toronto Raptors team. They're coming off a long road trip, and they don't really hoop that well on the road, man. So to get 3 wins like that in their last 5 games was a good situation for them. But now they return home in this one, and if you're asking me, do I feel comfortable laying 10.5 with the Raptors? Hell no, I do not feel comfortable laying 10.5 with the Raptors in this spot, man. So probably a stay away game for me. I know the Raptors did hammer the Spurs earlier this season, 143-100. That game really wasn't that long ago, as that game was on the 2nd of November. Well, I guess it was. It wasn't quite some time ago. So, tough spot. If anything, again, I'm probably staying away. If anything, though, I would probably grab those points with the Spurs. That's the way I lean. Just more so afraid of the Raptors. I'm not laying 10.5 with the Raptors. But I will say this as well. I said the same spiel in the last San Antonio game against Chicago. And Chicago pulled off late. So we'll see. Toronto at home. I know that's historically where they play their best basketball. But still, I don't trust them laying 10.5. I just don't. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Sacramento Kings out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Sacramento laying 8, total 241. We just saw this matchup the other night, man, on the 6th, with Sacramento absolutely putting it to the Rockets in that one, 140-120. Y'all know the rule, man. We just saw them the other night, and they play again in a home-and-home situation. The team that does it in the first one typically does it again in the second one. Give me the Kings. We're laying the 8. We have no problem laying 8 with the Kings on the road. They're one of our favorite money-making teams, and I think they beat up on this Rockets team for the final time this season. We've seen them do it all year. 135-115 was the first one. 139-114 was the second one. 140-120 was the third one. And I wouldn't be surprised if this one was another 20-point win for the Sacramento Kings. This is a team that beats up on the weaker teams and plays the good teams in the NBA really tight. I see no reason why that changes. Give me the Kings here in this one. We're laying the 8. Not going to overcomplicate it. It's just a great place to be, in my opinion. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got a good one. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment, man. They're out on the road facing the Utah Jazz. Jazz laying 5.5 in this one, total 236.5. It's an interesting game, man, here in this one. We got the Jazz laying 5.5 after losing to a G League team in their last one, my Dallas Mavericks, without anybody playing, man. That was an interesting one. I think the Jazz were laying double digits in that one and lost the game outright. So could this, in theory, be a bounce back and get right opportunity for them? I think so. And going to be their 5th straight home game. We know the Jazz play their best basketball at home. I know you're going to call me a crazy man in the comments, man, and I get it, but I'm going back to the well. I'm taking the Jazz, laying the 5.5. These are the spots where we usually hop on the Timberwolves, and then the next day we ask ourselves, why did we hop on the House of Disappointment? And these are the spots where they just really disappoint us, and I think this is a spot where we don't fall for it. I know the Jazz have lost back-to-back games against Dallas and Atlanta, but they bounce back tonight on their home floor, get this one done. They win it, and I think they win it pretty comfortably. I know Minnesota has been playing some all right basketball as they've won. Well, actually, they only won 2 of their last 5. They just got hammered on the road as well against the Denver Nuggets, 146-112. They got absolutely took behind the shed in that game. We had the Nuggets in that one laying the points. and we had the Timberwolves the game before that in Denver. So we've picked our spots on the Timberwolves. I don't think tonight's a good spot for them. They're out on the road. They just came off that long homestand. I'm taking the Jazz here in this one. We've seen 3 games between these two teams already this season. The Jazz won the first one 132-126 in an overtime game on the 21st of October. The Timberwolves won the second one 118-108 on the 9th of December. And the Jazz won the second one 126-125 on the 16th of January. I think the Jazz win the fourth one as well, win the season series 3-1, and I think they win it pretty convincingly. So, I'll be on the Jazz here in this one. I think they win this game, and I think they win it pretty comfortably, to be honest. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, man. We're out on the road facing the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers laying 8, total 220.5. Hey, man, call it what you want. Could be fandom, could be facts. We won't know till 9 o'clock tonight, but I'm taking the Mavs plus the 8. And quite honestly, I think I'm sprinkling some on the money line as well, plus 260. I think the Mavs have a real shot at winning this outright. I think Kyrie comes out tonight in his debut game, possibly goes for 40. And the Clippers, man, they possibly lose this basketball game. And that's just where I'm at. Again, y'all can call it fandom. You can call it whatever you want. That's just how I see it tonight. Still without Luka Doncic. He will not play tonight alongside Kyrie. But I don't like the spot for the Clippers, man. I think tonight could be a real flat spot for them. They just came off that long road trip. Now they're back home. Actually, that road trip was like on the East Coast, too, because they were in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, man, I just don't like the spot for them. They just play, 6 or 7 straight road games the Clippers did. Now they return home. It's not a good spot for them. We just saw the Mavs win outright as 10-point underdogs to the Utah Jazz. They won that game by 13 points. No Luka in that one. We just traded Dinwiddie and Finney Smith. It was a lot of young guys. Hardy, Josh Green. They had really good games, and they propelled the Mavs to a win in that one. I think they can keep this game competitive. I know the Mavs are the worst cover team in the NBA. I know that. They've been there for the majority of the season, and a lot of that damage was done earlier in the season when they were just way overvalued. Here tonight, man, we're getting 8 points. I think this game is going to be competitive. I think Kyrie really shows up in his debut game. I'm grabbing the Mavs plus the 8 here in this one, and I'm sprinkling some on the money line as well. I do think we have a real shot of winning this game outright. So it's going to be a good one. Can't wait to watch it. Y'all know I'm going to be tweeting about it all day, so I'll see y'all on Twitter about this one. But Mavs plus the 8 for sure, and on the money line as well for me here in this one. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors. They're out on the road facing the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland laying 2.5 here in this one, total 236. I mean, y'all know where I'm leaning in this one. We're continuing to fade the Golden State Warriors out on the road, man. And I think the Blazers only laying 2.5 a bucket. I definitely think they win this game, so I like them here in this spot, man. Golden State has played 26 road games this season. They've only won 6. It's just not a good spot to be trying to take the Warriors, man. For some odd reason, they just do not hoop out on the road, man. Hence why they're 28-26, damn near 500. They really good at home. One of the best home teams in all of the NBA, but one of the worst road teams this season. They're third worst. They're only better than Houston and San Antonio, and that's only by a game. Charlotte, Detroit got more home wins than, got more road wins than Golden State. Orlando, Utah, Chicago, New Orleans, all these teams have more wins than Golden State out on the road, man. They've really struggled there all season. And without Curry still in the lineup, do I see them correcting their issues here in this one? I do not. I think the Blazers pull this one out. The Blazers, they're 14-12 straight up at home. They've returned to the median a little bit. Earlier in the season, they were one of the best home teams in the NBA, but they've been struggling here recently as they've only won 3 of their last 5, but they've lost back-to-back games against Milwaukee and the Chicago Bulls. So we'll see. I think the Blazers do bounce back here tonight, take care of the Warriors on their home floor, continuing to fade Golden State where they've been terrible all season. 26 road games, have only won 6. Not a good place to be trying to take the Warriors. Give me the Blazers in our last and final matchup of the night. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on February 8th, 2023, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. My best bets can be found at Pickdawgz Premium, including my $15 NBA Jam Session play. We did bounce back on that play last night with the New Orleans Pelicans, man. Love to see that. We also had a really, really good night last night on the Jam Session, man. We want to keep all that momentum rolling forward into tonight, man. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I typically update y'all on late injury news. Let y'all know if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association. I also drop free parlays occasionally, free plays, all that great stuff, man, over there on Twitter. So make sure you're following me there. I should drop a free parlay today. We got a nice size card, so be on the lookout for that. Let's make some money tonight, man. Nice size card, 9 games. We're going to try to smash it per usual, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. Talk to y'all on Twitter. Talk to y'all in the comments, man. And I'll see y'all in the morning. I'm out. Peace.